Hello, it's Wyldwych here, and this is just a little short video to speak about the subject that has come up with the greater alternative YouTube community, and it's regarding dealing with negativity. Now, we all experience negativity in different ways and from different kinds of people and in different forms and so on. As a personal example of this, I have received negative comments when I used to go out all dressed, all gothed out, and this was when I lived in a particular part of Stockport. And yeah, I used to get a lot of comments from just your average Joes who were sitting outside of the pub having a drink, probably quite drunk already. And, you know, I used to just kind of keep my head down and just kind of march past them and not interact with them at all, which I think is possibly one of the better ways to deal with it. Although having said that, it can kind of lead to a sense of isolation then. Hey, I'm different, and these people have noticed that I'm different. Now, the beauty of the Gothic movement and the alternative community is that we celebrate that individuality and that desire to be different. If you're experiencing any negativity within the subculture, then that really, the people that are doing it basically are very insecure about their own feelings and about their own, how they look perhaps. And that's why they're externalizing it. If you are not experiencing negativity and you're experiencing a lot of positivity instead, then isn't that wonderful? Yeah. I've been in the situation where people have said, I wish I could wear that. And you think, well, you could wear that. It's just that you're choosing not to, because at the end of the day, it's all about personal choice. And those of us who are in the alternative cultures choose to do things that the people in the mainstream don't wish to do or feel that they can't do. Now, again, I was somebody who, until my 20s, didn't really exhibit much gothiness. I wore black quite a lot, and I wore things like Dr. Martin boots and so on, but I never really expressed, I never dressed how I wanted to dress. And it was only until when I got in my 20s that I felt I was liberated enough to be able to do that. And I dyed my hair black and wore lots of black lace and PVC and things that I wouldn't have worn before. I had negativity from my own dad when I used to go out dressed up, because he said I looked like a prostitute, and he was very unhappy that I used to dress like that way. But I wasn't unhappy because I felt that I was expressing who I was. And in that regard, I was being me. And at the time, there was no one else in the clubs that I used to go to who wore a PVC miniskirt, for example. And I did. And I got lots of comments about it, positive comments and positive, positive encouragement. So I was quite lucky in that respect. If we are finding that we're meeting people who are negative, we need to perhaps embrace that and say, it's okay for you to feel that way. Rachel Shade suggested that perhaps we counter it all with excessive positivity. And yeah, it's a great way to be, and to be very positive about what we do and why we are so different. And the fact is that, are we really that different? We're all human beings, and we're all having an experience of life, and we're just choosing to express ourselves in a different way to most people. I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing yourself, and self-expression is fundamental part of creativity. And if you're a creative person, then being able to express your individuality and put your mark on the world is kind of what it's about. Once upon a time, sort of Victorian times, you're putting your stamp on the world and included having the most ornate funerary accoutrements that you could afford. So it was, you know, people who were wealthy had very elaborate funeral decorations, and you know, they went into extensive periods of mourning and so on. And that was because they felt they made a mark on the world, and that they felt that they needed to leave a lasting legacy of who they were and why they were. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, and counter any negativity by just being nice to people. You know, if people see that, you know, back in the day, Whitby Goth Weekend, when I went to Whitby Goth Weekend in the 90s, I was, you know, we tried from place to place to get bed and breakfast, and were turned away with no Goths welcome, you know. Whereas now the town has embraced it, and it's become part of the culture of Whitby, which is brilliant. You know, it just shows that the times are changing, and sometimes it's been a bit slow. You know, the hippies faced the same condemnation in the 1960s, the Flower Children did. You know, the punks did when punk happened. So I think the more people accept that alternative people exist, that they're always going to be there, then that's when we become whole embracing as a society. So yeah, this has been a bit rambly, and so I'm going to kind of leave it here. But yeah, just stay positive, folks. I'll see you soon. Bye.